Okay, we're checking at both cameras. There's the 12 Pro at the bottom and the 10S on the top. So hopefully I'm framing right. And here we are. So, this is basically how it looks. You can see the rig, both angles. This is all from the standard wide camera right this second. Again, on native iPhone camera. We will check the FiLMiC Pro one in a little bit, along with like how much the Adobe Vision on the 12 makes an impact and how different it can look. But just natively, I will not color correct at all. Yeah, we're gonna just go with it. So, right now the iPhone XS is still at its normal wide camera, but the Pro is on its ultra wide. So you can see, like, comparing to both, this is what the effect looks like currently with a little bit of natural light. I don't have any other lights in this room on as of now. If there were more lights, maybe the images would be even more pretty, but this is like what it gives off. And also, in terms of coverage, it would show both a medium and like a wide medium and a solid medium. Yeah, so it's pretty. Yeah, so we're getting into wide territory. Pretty flexible. Let me go out to the other room with a little bit more light. This is what it does. Yep. I'm not entirely outside, but this is just how like environments look on both cameras, all at the standard wide lens, and it's continuing to be shot at 4K at 24 frames per second. We will go outside in a little bit, but this is just what it looks like with a little bit of window glass reflection, without messing around with the settings too much. Same thing by the window glass looking outside with the standard wide on the XS, but the ultra wide on the Pro. As you can see on the Pro, you basically shows like more point of view with a lot more stuff is shown. And I can see a little bit better quality only in terms of color in the Pro. The greens are more green. It makes things like, yeah, so the colors are popping, like more natural. So yeah. Okay, right now, you're shooting both standard wides, but on FiLMiC Pro using just the natural settings. I did not turn on Adobe Vision on the Pro yet. That will come next, but basically looking at if you look at both images, this is what the natural effects are under its standard natural settings. Means both, I did not like modify any other settings, I did not lock anything. So if everything changes, this is just like how it changes, just because the square and the round adjusters here's for focus are in place in the center. But this is just how it looks like natively. And based on the comparison from my point of view, again on the Pro, the colors pop more, or even that are just popping more, or you can see a little bit better lighting, so better exposure. Now we'll move around. This is how it looks so far. I think the white balance is better on the Pro, because like on the 10 you can see there's certain colors that don't look all the way white, but this one shows, and also the Pro takes in more light from the reflection from the window light. See that? And splashes it more along the walls and makes them, because if you look on the ceiling, the ceiling is actually blue with like painted clouds, and on the other phone, the 10s, can't really see it that way in its true color form. This is how it looks, how we look. Just the other room with its natural like lights. And colors are way more realistic, way more on point. So now, I didn't change any of these settings except I switched from the wide on the Pro to the ultra wide, while the 10s stays the same. And basically very similar effects. The colors still pop more, or the whites are more white. Right? The room is just more of its actual color. Or everything's like more, yeah, everything's just is basically very similar to the last lens. You just show a little bit more compared to the standard 10 and with its standard wide. You got more. You can have more distance at times. Okay, so now on both the 10s and the Pro, the 12 Pro, this is on the telephoto lens. So it's the longer lens on the phone. And still, as of like, still on the natural settings, colors pop more, they're way more realistic. And here I am, see if I can see my face. My skin is more pink on the 10s, but down here it's way more natural, way more like what my skin actually is. It's less pink than it actually is, which is more accurate. Yeah, sorry for the weird framing. It's just how this rig is built. But yeah, you can see a little bit more pink on the Pro. Can now see more pink right this second, but not too much. The other one, it kind of makes me look like I'm angry, about to explode. Yeah. Very tight. And here's an image of a globe. You're looking at the 10 first, and here's the Pro. Okay. Oof. It's very tight. I know. This lens, normally you wouldn't, on the telephoto lens, you wouldn't really be close up, moving around so much, but this is only just to get a nice sense of the idea of what they're capable of doing. Got light. When they both adjust, the Pro is a lot more, isn't as like, has better colors. And from the distance, we can see how much the light can reflect, is being splashed from the window into the room. Both, let's see, on the 10, it gets a little bit hard. You could totally see the line, but not clearly. On the 12 Pro, you can definitely see the line between the white wall and the blue cloudy ceiling. I mean, it's like way more clear air and maybe a little bit more exposure. Now I changed the settings to be more log V2. This is how it looks on both ends without color correction. On the 12, it's way more accurate to how it looks just from looking at this right now. And on the 10 and S, it's showing off way more kind of like a teal pinkish lighting. I mean, or it's not really as what it really is, but that's just how it looks so far. And the and sure, the exposure and the focus are not locked, so they change a little bit, but not a lot. But here's in the other room. Definitely the bathroom is way more, or the coloring is more accurate on the 12 Pro. It's like the white balance is like not as effective as as the 12 is way more accurate with white balance. And here I am, and with a little bit of red. Still working on certain things, but yeah. So here's the room again. Another mirror. with a little bit of natural light. Again on log, but see how it looks from this right now. Definitely in log, again, the colors are popping way more, and they're way more accurate. Or the green is more green, rather than on the 10S where it definitely looks a little bit more faded. So definitely in general the 12 Pro captures better coloring naturally and in stronger colors than its predecessors. Kind of a piggyback up to the last one. It's basically the same thing, but with the 12 Pro on the ultra wide, which I assume is which is all basically the same effect, same coloring, and capturing a lot of stuff, just at a wider angle. But yeah, you can definitely see some noise a little bit on this one, but luckily, but it's also because this area is not really lit to like what I would say is standard. But right there, it kind of goes away, but it's still its color correction. That's just how. Yeah, it kind of does that at times, but with like proper exposing and like lights in different ways and diffusion using at different levels, then it would definitely be very effective. Yeah. Same settings as before with the log V, log V2, with the telephoto lenses on. So as of now, like again, still the 12 Pro captures better color even for Then once you would color correct it, obviously, they would pop even further, more like the clips that were shown earlier. And right there, you could definitely see like the different, everything on the trees, like more clear, and the leaves, and so much more. So now, I turned on the Adobe version onto the FiLMiC Pro. And I turned natural back on the 10S. So this is the effects that they give. It's very similar to how the native phone camera settings works. It's definitely a little bit more pink on the top on the 10S, but definitely shows but more accurate colors and tones with Adobe. And Adobe doesn't. Adobe is like that, and definitely automatically capturing better color and exposure. Able to do a lot more. Yeah, it definitely feels. So yeah, this is all there. Here, more natural. Now, the 12 Pro is still with Adobe Vision on, but I turned the 10S back to log, so you can see what they would look like differently just from shooting. Obviously, nothing is color corrected even at all. Apparently, from the report saying that basically most footage that is shot on the 12 Pro is basically how it's supposed to look like for the most part. So it's doing all or most of the color correcting natively. And this is how it looks so far. Again, you can see a massive difference between just log and what the Pro and what Adobe Vision is doing in the FiLMiC Pro settings. Oof. So many colors. It's basically, yeah, it's quite something. Yeah, and definitely definitely slashing colors better for exposure, more accurate rather than that. Here it is. There we go. That's very nice. Very nice. Actually outside, kind. Again, the 12 Pro camera is at the bottom on them, and the 10S is on the top. And this is just shooting naturally 4K 24 frames per second. So here's the dog. That's what they're. Yeah, it's an overcast day. Okay, so if there's any lightning, it's very soft. These are the trees. Here's the grass. Definitely on the Pro 12, there's way more detail, and kind of better exposure and color on it. And also, like on the 12, there are definitely ways to adjust the exposure levels while filming. I mean, but I will not mess around with that. I just want to shoot like natively, just how you would do it right this second. If you were just doing it like on set, you would probably fiddle around with that a little bit more. But right now, this is just a demonstration. You can see what they're both capable of doing in comparison. Okay, shooting natively again, but with the Pro 12 camera, we're on ultra wide. Fine. Again, this is how. But from what I see with the 12, it definitely shows a lot. It's showing better. It's capturing better images and more clear ones. Definitely because the color is making them feel more accurate. And here we go with the plants. And it's also super sharp. Pro is definitely super sharp, definitely because the Adobe software enabling it. It's definitely very effective. It's feel very sharp and very colorful. Here's Midge again. Let me see how she looks. Okay, now we switch back to FiLMiC Pro on natural settings. Let's see. It's very similar to the standard iPhone camera settings natively. Just when it can. Definitely some better image coloring and image quality on the 12. That's just, you can definitely see a lot of details. Yep, there was an adjustment right there because the focus and the iOS adjuster are in the center, so they adjust according to the light. But if you're actually filming something professionally, you would probably lock them and adjust it to whatever you would like. But definitely passable. Now, same thing with on the ultra wide on the Pro. Elsa, get him! Elsa, come on! Come on! So yeah, and yeah. Yep, the whites are more white. Yeah, and the dog is more colorful on the Pro. Same settings as before, but all on the telephoto lens right now. So yep. Definitely more sharper for sure on the 12 Pro. Definitely has, yeah. All right, now shooting on log V on both cameras at the wide angle. Well, this is how it looks with overcast, different colors in the environment, the wood, the white tent, this white tent here, definitely more white and color corrected on on the Pro, even in log. And here's the plant. And, well, nice flowers. Definitely a lot of nice soft overcast. Definitely helps rather than be super overexposed most all the time. Same settings as before with the ultra wide on the Pro. Definitely shows more color. And definitely a good wide angle to use if you're doing like a group scene or just strong advantage points. Telephoto. That's what it looks like. Normally I wouldn't move around so much, but it's just for demonstration. Okay, I turned Adobe Vision back on the 12 Pro and just went back to natural with the 10S. It's very, very similar, but Adobe Vision is definitely proven a little bit more superior with color and a little bit of exposure. Exposure, yeah. There we go. And there's Midge right there. And you can see the greens and the colors of all the plants and the environment and everything else around it. There we go. The clouds. They're capturing better images better than I can see it with my glasses. But very pretty close. But definitely solid overcast. This is the same thing, but with the 12 Pro with an ultra wide. And we can hear the birds. Everything's, yeah, again, the settings automatically adjust because I have not locked it, but again, that'll be your preference. Oops, when filming. Very cinematic. Now we're both on the telephoto lens. Same settings. It's definitely, just from here, definitely, again, colors are better on the 12 Pro and more lifelike. Alright, now back to standard wides on both cameras, but the 10S is now back on the log V2, and Adobe Vision is still the same on the 12. And here are the differences. You can see with at this angle with all the different colors. And Elsa right there. There. You can compare basically how it looks like from log versus Adobe Vision, which is making all the colors pop and be more realistic. Okay? Then if you color correct it very well, you could probably get it very similar, but probably not but I'm sure in the end the 12 Pro would be more superior. Alright, same thing, but with now on the ultra wide, right, on the 12 Pro. Settings, everything looks about the same, which is good. See all the different colors, even at a strong distance, you can definitely see everything. Trees, and adjusting. Same settings as before, but now with both cameras on the telephoto. Kind of just looking over here at distance, but this is how it goes. Again, the colors are more superior on the 12.